These are the 5 questions every pre-retiree is asking.
Click on the banner above to learn more about our sponsor, Fairway Independent Mortgage.
Welcome back, everyone. First, a quick show note. Last week, I mentioned that today we'd be examining why the net present value of the HECM program inside of FHA's insurance fund began to post positive valuations after the 2013 Reverse Mortgage Stabilization Act, but then reversed itself and began posting negative net present values after the October 2017 changes, showing a negative balance in 2018, 19, and 20. Well, as it turns out, that subject is going to require much additional research and analysis. However, we're certainly going to let you know when we're going to be featuring that special segment. So watch your inbox. Now, on to this week's topic. There are 5 primary areas or 5 primary questions that your potential borrowers in their early 60s are grappling with when they're deciding whether to retire or not. And today, we're going to briefly touch on each. But before we begin, let me caution originators that these points are not intended to train you to give unlicensed financial advice, but rather to help you communicate more effectively with the homeowner or even their financial advisor. And by doing that, this is going to help you craft a more meaningful line of questions. And of course, that will help expose their true retirement concerns and where they may be falling short. By the way, if you stop and consider it, it's not a mistake that the age of eligibility for the federally insured reverse mortgage program, at least, is 62. Americans in their early 60s begin to seriously consider the merits of continued full-time work against the rewards of a more leisurely lifestyle. But here are the 5 factors that each of them is likely to contemplate before they do finally bid farewell to reporting to work each and every day. And first is retirement readiness. Now, that's one facet that is typically ignored, and that is in favor of crunching numbers, is more importantly, psychological readiness or preparedness. Newly retired individuals can begin with feelings of excitement and anticipation only to find themselves devolving into a morass of depression, anxiety, and restlessness. Aging expert and author of Sources of Income and Cash Flow says, people spend more time planning a wedding than planning retirement. It's very important to think about your identity and what you're losing and how you get a new identity. What would give you a sense of meaning and purpose? Next is financial readiness, and that's typically determined by creating a post-employment or retirement budget. And that's going to include reliable sources of monthly income throughout the retirement years. And we'll get to that in a minute. But the good news is that their expenses may actually be considerably less when you factor in that they're, 1, no longer raising children, and 2, the often overlooked expense of employment such as wardrobe, transportation, and vehicle maintenance. Second are sources of income and cash flow. Now, some may decide not to completely disavow employment and instead find part-time work. There's one retiree that I know, she took a job at the local historical society and she finds it much more enjoyable than her previous career. Now, there are many sources of income, and the typical ones are defined pension benefits, investment dividends or distributions, royalties, Social Security, and distributions from 401ks, 403bs, and IRAs. The magic of the reverse mortgage is that it can help close many of the gaps in a monthly cash flow that are found when someone is considering retirement. And a portion of the home's illiquid value can be converted into an available standby line of credit, monthly tenure payments, or simply retiring the benefit or the burden, of an existing monthly mortgage payment. Now, of course, those pesky property taxes and insurance do remain until death or home do you part. The third question almost every soon-to-be retiree faces is when to begin taking Social Security benefits. And that question often hinges on whether to take a full or reduced payout. Now, as the ratio of retirees to active workers continues to spread, Uncle Sam has moved the goalpost over the years, with those being born before 1938 being able to take full benefits at the age of 65, and younger retirees seeing a graduated reduction based on age. Now, some look not only to the need for monthly cash flow, but their likely life expectancy. And in fact, those in poorer health often opt to start sooner than later than having the risk of dying before collecting the benefit. Now, as a reverse mortgage professional, you're going to want to avoid giving any advice when to begin drawing Social Security, but again, knowing those considerations involved is useful to understand the homeowner's mindset. The fourth consideration or question about retirement revolves around Medicare. Now, fewer workers are retiring with a medical insurance benefit package today. But the good news is they can enroll in Medicare at the age of 65 and purchase a Medicare supplement policy that is typically much less expensive than the private insurance premiums they would pay individually. Fifth and lastly, as a source of income or a question is, RMDs are required minimum distributions. Did you know that while 401k and IRA deductions reduce taxable income, distributions must be taken to avoid penalties, in many cases up to 50%. Now, for decades, retirees had to begin taking distributions or payouts from these accounts at the age of 70 and a half. However, thanks to the 2019 Secure Act and increasing life expectancies, that age now is 72. Some younger retirees in their early 60s have actually postponed taking money from their 401ks to avoid more taxable income while allowing them to use a reverse mortgage instead. But either way, the money must be systematically withdrawn, whether it's monthly or annually. Now, understanding these 5 factors can help you as a reverse mortgage professional increase your confidence when you're working with a financial professional and homeowner. But be mindful, stay in your lane and do not provide unlicensed advice, but also recognize that your financial or foundational grasp of these concepts will not go unnoticed. It will not only help build rapport and trust and efficiency, but in also helping shape a plan that best meets the needs of the homeowner. Now, what are your thoughts? Leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you could also do us a favor, you could share this video with other professionals who would find it helpful. You can do that using the social media links on this page. Don't forget, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you never miss an upcoming episode. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to return next week for more reverse mortgage news, commentary, and analysis here at the Industry Leader Update at HECM World.